Hello, my name is Gina. During a series of tutorials, I will lead you through the process of filling in the application form for a standard project in our monitoring system, GEMS. In this particular tutorial, I will show you how to fill in the costs of the partner budget. Please be aware that these tutorial videos focus on the fields of the application form to be filled in or to be selected. They do not refer to overviews or those fields that are automatically generated by the system. Watching the tutorials does not substitute careful studying of the manuals of the program. Applicants are advised to read the manuals first and check the tutorials thereafter to get a practical insight into the system and the process of filling in the application form. To define the budget of a project, the budgets of the partners need to be defined first. Therefore, this part of the application form is linked to the project partners. You'll find the section where the budget is to be filled in if you click each partner below the Partners Overview chapter of the left side menu bar, and then go to the fifth worksheet called Budget. This section of the application form consists of three main parts, which will be now introduced one by one. At the top, you find the Partner Budget Overview table, which is filled in automatically by the system. This shows the budget according to cost categories. In the second part of this section, the partner budget options, different flat rates can be selected with tick boxes. For the details about the different settlement options, please read carefully the eligibility manual, especially chapters 4 and 5. Staff costs are reimbursed by the program either as a flat rate percentage of direct costs or as unit costs. If you choose the flat rate option, it has to be marked in the tick box below the partner budget options heading. Office and administration as well as travel and accommodation costs are reimbursed to each beneficiary in the form of a flat rate. Therefore, these two options must be selected by each applicant, unless the other costs flat rate is selected, which covers all other cost categories than staff. The other cost flat rate is calculated as 40% of the staff costs. In this case, staff has to be reimbursed on the basis of hourly rates, and the tick boxes for staff, office and admin, travel and accommodation are disabled. Similarly, the other cost flat rate cannot be ticked if the staff flat rate is selected. Remember, if you don't use the other cost flat rate, you always have to take office and admin as well as travel and accommodation flat rates. You can record staff costs on the basis of hourly rates, costs for external expertise and services, equipment as well as infrastructure and works as real costs in the third part of this section, titled Partner Budget. Before you start filling in the staff budget, please carefully define the functions needed for the implementation of the project and estimate the hours needed per each function. The functions are grouped to performance groups and they define the applicable hourly rates. At this phase, you still do not need to provide the persons who will actually be assigned to the particular functions. An overview of the functions and performance groups is available in the annex of the eligibility manual. To record staff costs on the basis of hourly rates, press the plus add button. A new row appears. In this particular cost category, first, you have to choose a function from the drop-down list. Please be aware that each function will appear 2 times in the list. One of them applicable for Austrian partners and the other one for Hungarians since the hourly rates differ between the two countries. The short, general definition of the function will appear in the next column. In the third column called Comments, you must specifically describe the particular project-related tasks and responsibilities linked to the function in that row. It is very important that the task description shall be project-specific and have an appropriate link with the work plan. Applicants shall use each function only once in their partner budgets. If the function covers more than one thematic task, for example different thematic expertise for strategic planning and for the implementation of pilot actions, it should be reflected in the task description. In justified cases, however, it is also possible to split the budget of a certain function according to thematic tasks. Please be focused, you have 250 characters for the task description in both languages. The unit is predefined, hours. The total number of hours dedicated to the particular function has to be defined in the text box named number of units. The total cost for the function is calculated by GEMS, and it is displayed in the next column. In the end, you have to allocate the total costs for the function among the reporting periods. If you have yet unallocated parts of the total costs for a function, they are shown in the column Gap. In order to add another function to your staff, the process must be repeated. If the cost categories external expertise and services, equipment, as well as infrastructure and works are planned as real costs, they shall be recorded in a similar manner. First, press the plus add button below the name of the particular cost category. In each row, add a title into the first column, 255 characters in both languages, then a task description or a specification, 250 characters in both languages, in the second one. Please be short and focused with the titles of the budget items and describe the necessary details in the second column. If your cost item is linked to an investment that was previously defined in the work plan, select the relevant investment in the third column. Each budget item needs to be defined by the unit, for example hours, number, kilometer, hectare, etc., the quantity, and the unit price. The total cost for each budget item is calculated and displayed by GEMS in the dedicated column. Please allocate the total costs for each budget item among the reporting periods. If you have yet unallocated parts, they are shown in the column Gap. Repeat these steps with every new budget item you want to add. At the end of this section, an overview table shows the share of the partner from the preparation costs lump sum which was assigned to that partner in section E.1 project lump sums. The data displayed here is automatically taken over from that section. Don't forget to save your work regularly, but at latest before you move on to another section, or before you close GEMS.